Hi there, this is Aurora with Supercharged Science, and I wanted to give you a couple of quick updates for Supercharged Science. So if we're meeting for the first time, my name's Aurora. I've actually been teaching science classes live, interactive, free for the public since mid-March of 2020, and I was teaching them every day back then as my way of just helping out the community. And now we're switching gears. We switched gears for summer because we had a summer camp program. Then it was 3 times a week. But then I was also co-teaching at the same time, or simultaneously teaching at the same time. I was teaching the summer camp program, and also teaching starting in August the year-round program. So we started back in August for folks that started early, and then in fall we started doing stepping through my online science program one step at a time with these live classes. So these live interactive classes happen 3 times a week: Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And the times change and vary depending on what we have going on. Sometimes when we have guest speakers, they're a little bit, the times are different, but generally they're between 10 and 12 a.m. or 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Pacific time. And I wanted to give you a quick update of some things that are coming up, as well as some changes that are going to be coming up and additions that I hope is going to make your experience with Supercharged Science even better. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to switch a camera view here so I can actually show you some different things that we have. So my online science program, as you know, it covers a wide variety of topics: chemistry, biology, physics, astronomy, engineering, lots of different areas. And so because of that, I put together a planner. So if you're new to the online science program, or maybe you've been enjoying a lot of these free classes, those free classes get moved to the online science program at the end of the month. So if you've been enjoying, for example, we're in February right now, so those are biology classes. Those biology classes next week are going to get moved off of social media and they will go to my online eScience program. When you become a member and when you become enrolled in the program, you'll get access to a bunch of things. So once, like a ton of stuff. One of them is this planner. This helps you plan out your year. It tells you what to expect with the program. It has all kinds of diagrams and all kinds of things that you'll be able to use. And every month, you will also have access to things like the shopping list, and it uses everyday materials. And you can see a lot of, well, you probably can't see, but when you print it out and download it, there are asterisks. I have never known how to say that word. Asterisk. Somebody tell me how to say that. Little stars right after each one of the materials that we use from month to month. And most of these every month have stars next to them. So you wind up buying, putting together a kit that you keep reusing over and over, replenishing when you're done, and reusing a lot of the items when you're finished with them. You'll make a robot out of popsicle sticks and motors and batteries and wires, and then you'll rip all that stuff apart and use it to make like a bridge or a laser light show or something else later on. So the materials list, it's a easier, simplified version that's on the main site because the main site is really overwhelming for most people. So I try to trim it down, just say, okay, these are the experiments I want you to do this month, not the 200 that are listed on the website, but I just want you to do these experiments, and these experiments use these materials. So it's kind of like an easy way to get started with the program. One of the problems we've heard from families in terms of feedback is there's just too much. So I understand that. So this was my way of walking you through the content, giving you really just the most important experiments you should focus on that'll really teach those science concepts, and then telling you which materials to get. And we also made sure that those experiments had really easy to get materials. So that's what that was about. And periodically, especially in biology, you know, for a long time I put off doing any biology because there were so many other better curriculums out there that had biology. But finally we broke down after, I don't know, 8 years or so. I wanted just to focus on physics, chemistry, and engineering. But you kind of reach a point where you're like, you know, I've got to make this decision. Okay, I'm going to do some biology. And because Supercharged Science does not cover evolution or creation, we focus on what we call observational science, which means if we want you to have a question, we'll teach you how to design the experiment to get your own answers. And so that's how science is done. So that's what we focus on. So we're going to teach you how to use the microscope, how to use the telescope, how to build the bridges, and how to design experiments, how to ask better questions. And then it's up to you to design those experiments and then reach your own conclusions. So that's the way a real scientist does it. A lot of science curriculums out there frustrate me so much. They will say step 1, step 2, step 3, and then expect this result. I don't know about you, but what scientist in their right mind is going to do an experiment that they already know the answer to? Ridiculous, right? Okay. So Anyway, so this is my slant on it, and it's not a great fit for everybody. I get that. Some people do just like a cookie cutter recipe book and they just want to do it and then call it a day and have it done. That's fine. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that approach. It's just not the approach that I use. Okay, so for this month, we had a ton of new content because biology is still in its developmental stage, no pun intended, but I'm still adding a lot of content to biology. So the classes were longer this month, the labs were more intensive. I think there was like 9 labs total that I published, and so you'll find all of those in the program as well. So you'll be able to have those. So these are labs that you can download. Okay, so what's coming up? So in the first 4 months, well, really August was just fun. We just focused on engineering projects, STEM-related stuff, engineering and technology. So a lot of application stuff just to get kids' feet wet and get them interested and excited. When fall came, and we started in with the academic school year, which typically starts in September. What we did is we did physics, and then we did electronics and engineering. So we did electrical stuff. We hooked up wires and circuits and talked about magnetism. So that was an extension of physics. And then we moved on to, or I think we did that in November. So we did physics first, like how things move, looking at velocity and motion and forces. And then we moved on to light and optics. So we covered those 3 big branches of physics because those are really the fundamentals of what science is built on. And then after that, in December, we moved on to chemistry and chemical engineering. And so we took a look at that and really built on the principles we had laid out in the first 3 months. And then we're taking those fundamental areas, physics and chemistry, and then starting in January, from January through now to the future month in May, we're going to be doing application-based science. So we're taking those fundamentals and now we're applying them to the real world. So January was mechanical engineering, and you actually had a brand new lab, which I was really excited about putting together. There's like 3 or 4 labs in one, a mechanical engineering car efficiency lab. And so that was one that you got to work on as well. And I was really excited to put that together. It took me like 2 weeks and a bunch of my notes from, I don't know if you can see them here. Here's my office. And there's some books that are down there, way down there. Those are my engineering books from when I was teaching at Cal Poly. I taught mechanical engineering there for a number of years. So I pulled those out and put together a new lab for you. Okay, so February is biology. Biology uses chemistry, it uses physics, and some of its own stuff. We've focused on microscopes, pun intended. We took a look at, today we're gonna wrap up with archaea and bacteria and viruses, but we've covered a lot of different areas, plants and animals and cells. We got to learn from a real molecular biologist as well. He did a 2-part lecture series for us, which was great. So that was, there was a lot of great feedback for that. So for next month, we are going to be doing a whole bunch of new things. You're not going to be able to read this, but I have arranged for several astronomers to do private stargazing from their private observatories for our students. I've also arranged for a moon class with a astrophotographer that's one of the best in the field. He's been published in over 1,000 publications since I think the mid-90s. And so he's going to be doing a moon class. We're going to focus on taking a look at the moon and what people miss, what they don't notice, and you'll be able to do that class just with your naked eyes. And you could even do it with a pair of binoculars if you have it. And then I've also arranged for another astronomer to do a solar observing class. Now, normally you can't point your telescope at the sun and look through it and expect to see tomorrow. You will permanently damage your eyes. So he is going to walk you through what his telescopes look like and how you can safely view the sun, and also share with you the images that he's done. Yeah, so he has a private solar observatory. And then we're also going to be doing a huge stargazing event. It'll probably be about 1.5 hours to 2 hours long on one of the nights, and you'll get to participate in that as well. We're also going to be running a Messier Marathon. And so we're going to teach your kids how to see some of the really brightest objects in the sky, galaxies you can see, nebulae that you can see naked eye and binoculars. We're going to show you how to really be able to see some of the constellations, be able to just recognize star patterns. And we're also going to build telescopes. We're going to you're going to capture cosmic rays. There's a ton of stuff coming. And the following month, which is April, we will be having, and then at the end of March, that content will be moved to the online science program off social media as well. So it'll be available for everyone, the intro to the class. And then if you want to do the experiments, you've got to be a member of the program. Okay, and then I'm really excited about April because April is aviation. And so I have arranged with a few pilots who, one of them, I think she flew a DC-10 as well as a 787. She regularly flies. She's a captain. And I also have two other captains for American Airlines, and they are going to be joining us. And you're also going to get flight instruction. You're going to do at least 2 to 4, depending on the weather, maybe more, maybe less. I'm not exact, well, not less, but maybe more. We'll see. You're going to get some flight lessons from a real flight instructor. And so Al is going to be joining us for that as well. Whew, does that sound like a lot? It is. There's one more month. So in what's the last month? Oh, May. So in May, we are going to be doing earth science and geology, mineralogy and planetary geology, which means geology not on our planet, but other planets. So this is a brand new area of science, which is why I pushed it all the way back to that part of the year. That way we could use as much scientific data that is currently coming in right now and present that to you during those classes. Currently at the moment, we have an electronics engineer who is designing and creating new videos where you can actually because we've already done electrical engineering and we've done physics and we've done electricity and magnetism. So we're going to put all those elements together. You'll be able to make your own detectors so you can detect certain things about the Earth. There's a few experiments already on eScience about this, like how you can detect the fluctuations and the changes of the Earth's magnetic field. It's not just on, but it pulses. You can actually measure that pulse with a laser and some mirrors and magnets in a pickle jar. But we're also going to do other types of simple electronics where you can actually get real data just from being on our planet. So I'm really excited. He's putting those labs together now. I think there's 6 or 8 new ones that are coming your way that have never been on eScience before. So I'm really excited. And yes, over summer, we will be doing the online summer science camp. And this year, we're not going to do any live events for obvious reasons, but we do expect to do live workshops like we have been. That's honestly the whole reason I got into this in the first place. I started teaching live camps and workshops, and that's how this all started. So usually things are designed the other way. Well, they'll design the curriculum and then they'll teach it. I just started teaching. Well, I started teaching at the university level, and then I took those lessons, made them easier, started teaching them as camps and workshops in my area. The local university liked it so much, they actually took a spin-off of ours and now teaches a version of our camps at the university. So it's really collaborative and really a lot of fun. Okay, so we are actually going to be doing a class really soon, actually in very, very soon. Yeah, in like 10 minutes. So I have to go get ready for that. But I wanted to give you an update just so you knew what was coming and what's coming down the line. And so if you'd like to join us, I'd love to have you as part of our family. We're going to be doing so many new and fun and interesting things. We have a lot more interaction from, because we're doing application-based stuff. For example, mechanical engineers are going to join us, pilots are going to join us, astronomers are going to join us. And so you'll be able to interact and ask them questions and hear what it's really like to be in their field. So if one of these areas really hooks you, like, ooh, I would love to be able to do that, but I don't know what it's like, or, you know, what am I going to do every day? Well, this will be your opportunity to get a real good look at that. So I'm excited to bring this towards you, for you. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for my class. I will see y'all in about 10 minutes. And so you see this here, the command center. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start typing. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I am always happy to answer your questions. You can reach me at aurora@superchargedscience.com. And I will see you guys really soon. Take care, everybody.